Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Well, good morning and thanks for waking up with us today. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Louis Dortch. Hopefully having a good start to your Thursday so far. Just a couple bit more days till the weekend, Justine. We can make it.
And hopefully you're finding a place to breathe.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's pretty difficult.
So bad yesterday.
These days, yeah. So
bad yesterday. We talked about, like, I didn't even know you could get air quality worse than hazardous.
Beyond hazardous?
Like hazardous seems really bad. You go beyond hazardous. That's what we had yesterday. It's still, not good this morning. Right. I think the air quality could get a little bit better by this afternoon because we're going to bring in a front that could get some winds to blow it out of here. But if you factor in those winds, it's going to be another day of some high fire danger. We'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Here's your watches and warnings. We have that air quality alert in place. Now, instead of until further notice, that's going to go in effect until 9 a.m. Then they'll reevaluate that at 9 a.m. because we do have that front moving through that could get some of the air quality a little bit better for today. So as that cold front approaches, we talked about the winds. It's also going to bring in some scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. 80s, those are going to stick around for Friday and Saturday. Then high pressure is going to bring hot, dry, sunny, and once again smoky conditions into next week. Here's your forecast for today. Cooler temperatures with some scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures mostly in the upper 70s to lower 80s.
Well, fire managers pushed through a windy night that tested those fire lines on the 33,000-acre Lolo Peak fire. The National Weather Service did issue that red flag warning beginning near Lolo. It brought 35 to 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts, even up to 50. Firefighters will be patrolling along 93 and 12 highway corridors, control lines, and in communities for structure protection as well. Highway 12 west of Lolo has been fully opened now to traffic near the blaze with a reduced speed of a limit of 45 miles an hour. And the Ravalli County Sheriff's Office has issued some new evacuation orders near the Lolo Peak fire in Florence. Due to the dangerous fire behavior, the orders are in effect for all residents west of Florence-Carlton Loop, south to One Horse Creek Road, and west of Highway 93 from One Horse Creek Road to Sweeney Creek Loop. The new order area includes all residents on Sweeney Creek Loop north of and including Outback Road to include Woodtick Hollow, Sweeney Creek Trail, Upper Sweeney Creek Loop, Hill Drive, Copeland Lane, and Smith Fork. Evacuated residents are asked to check in at the Ravalli County Search and Rescue Command van that's located in the Super One parking lot in Stevensville. The Ravalli County Emergency Operations Center can be reached at 406-375-6650. And fire operations on the northern side of the Lolo Peak fire were shut down for a time on Wednesday after shots were fired near Mill Creek. It was just a recreational shooter, but deputies say that shooting is prohibited under Stage 2 restrictions for both firefighter safety and fire danger. The sheriff's office did place a roadblock at Highway 12 and Mill Creek Road to limit access to residents for a time. Well, great news from the more than 3,500-acre fire burning east of Eureka. Containment tonight, or this morning rather, hits 32%. The Gibraltar Ridge fire is now being managed by a Type 3 team. The new team will continue mop-up work and monitor the fire's activity. Some residents remain in pre-evacuation and pre-evacuation warning status. We will have those specifics listed on our website. The fire was sparked by lightning on August 7th. A Neptune aviation tanker safe on the ground after losing power in one engine in midair. The P-2V, which is a prop aircraft, diverted to Helena for a precautionary landing after the alarms went off while it was flying to a new fire near Dillon. Dan Snyder of Neptune tells us the crew was able to land safely and crews are already working on replacing the engine, and they anticipate having that tanker back up in the air today. This is the last year Neptune is flying the workhorse P-2V tankers, which will be retired in the fall. We have information on all the fires burning in western Montana on our website. We will continue to track all the details and critical information that you need with our Fire Watch coverage on air and online with our Facebook and Twitter feeds and the KPAX mobile app. Well, a former Missoula police officer who later worked with the state crime lab and stole prescription narcotics will not serve jail time unless he violates his release conditions. 55-year-old Stephen Brester was originally charged with tampering with public records, criminal possession of dangerous drugs, and tampering with evidence last November. Brester began working with the Montana State Crime Lab in September of 2014 after a 20-year career in law enforcement. While on duty, Brester was involved in a car accident that left him injured. He was prescribed pain medication and eventually became addicted to them. He took a job at the crime lab where he began stealing narcotics. The Montana Attorney General's office estimates that at least 50 drug cases across the state were affected by Brester's actions. In the end, Judge Leslie Halligan disagreed with the state's recommendation of a 15-year sentence with 10 years suspended in favor of a 10-year suspended sentence.
You have a lot of support from individuals. You have engaged in treatment. It appears that you are not recommended for an intensive type of treatment. You have engaged in that on a voluntary basis. It appears that you have as well maintained sobriety and followed through with mental health recommendations as well.
Brester will still be a convicted felon after completing a sentence and will also be required to pay fines and serve 690 hours of community service. 2 Missoula elementary schools get a new start to kick off the school year. Lowell Elementary in Missoula underwent a major renovation, while Franklin Elementary is virtually brand new. MTN's Jill Valley got a look inside the state-of-the-art schools.
Just a little more tidying up and the new Franklin Elementary School is ready for the year. Big rooms, bright colors, and lots of light. And finally, more room to learn.
Kids are going to feel like this is their space. They get to make it how they want to. They also can exhibit some of those other learning styles that they haven't been able to in tight spaces.
It's a major upgrade from the old school that was built in 1916. Kids were crammed into small rooms and the old building couldn't handle the new technology of today. And while all this is brand new and state-of-the-art, the heart of Franklin remains, from old signs to stained glass. A nod to where it all began.
This neighborhood is such a community, the Franklin community, and we have generations of people who have gone through Franklin. We wanted to make sure that we kept some of those iconic symbols for people to remember.
This year's kindergarten class is up by 35 students. That will bring the number of kids going here this year to about 285. But the school has been designed to accommodate up to 450 students in the future if it has to.
Classroom space is flexible, designed to fit the learning needs of kids, from stand-up desks to chairs that rock. And classrooms teachers can design to fit their teaching needs. The gym floor is brand new, and the outside of the building, it's hard to miss.
We wanted bright colors. We wanted, each entrance has a bright color, and the big yellow and gray and white panels, you know, it shows that it's an elementary. It's not just a brick building with halls and rooms. It's built for kids.
The Franklin project is one of the largest ones supported by the Smart Schools 2020 bond passed in 2015 that includes major projects to upgrade schools around Missoula. In Missoula, Jill Valley, MTN News.
You can get a look at the brand new school yourself. That's today from 4 until 6 when Franklin hosts an open house. The newly renovated Lowell Elementary is also hosting an open house at the same time. All right, let's send on over to Lewis now this morning. He's got your forecast.
All right, thank you, Justine. Good morning, everyone. How about this picture sent in to us by Nikki last night? The sunset there in Lolo, very smoky. As we know, yesterday was so bad, but Nikki, thank you so much for this picture right here. We had clouds rolling yesterday. Those stuck with us overnight, so temperatures a little bit warmer this morning as those clouds act like a blanket. So we're anywhere across the state about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday at this time. Kalispell 16 degrees warmer right now than where you were just 24 hours ago. So as we look at our temperatures, 50s and 60s this morning, so not nearly as cool this morning, but we're not going to be nearly as hot this afternoon as where we were yesterday. Made it up to 90 in Missoula yesterday. Will be about 81 this afternoon. We already are seeing some rain showers and thunderstorms rolling in. These are pushing in from Idaho, becoming a little bit more widespread here this morning. So we're going to see the best chance of measurable rainfall in northwestern Montana. You can already see the clouds building in, so we're going to keep this scattered shower activity just sticking around, especially during the morning and early afternoon, and then starting to clear out by the late afternoon time. Now, we do have a chance of actually seeing some stronger storms, and that threat is in southwestern Montana. We'll say south of Interstate 90, where the biggest threats here are lightning, a little bit of hail, but then some strong gusty winds are possible by this afternoon as some of those storms pick up. Another thing that we're going to have to be talking about today is that drought monitor. It's going to be updated at around 6:30 this morning, so roughly about half hour from now we'll revisit this again, but we already are seeing some very dry conditions. Pretty much the entire state is under that drought condition. And again, we'll update this in about half hour. I only expect, though, unfortunately, to these conditions to get worse, because what we've been seeing is this big area of high pressure overhead. Now, a little bit cooler today as we're getting that dip in the jet stream, but just watch what happens as we roll into the weekend and into next week. We're going to start to build this ridge up once again for Wednesday. Hot temperatures roll in. We could see some middle, possibly upper 90s Tuesday and Wednesday and next week. And just look what happens. This sticks around all the way into the following weekend. So after a little bit of rain today, we're going to see another extended period of time of hot and dry weather, unfortunately. All right, here's your forecast for Hamilton today. 81 with about a 30% chance of a rain shower and thunderstorm. Then we warm it up with those 90s returning by Sunday of next week.
All right, well, thanks, Lewis, and make sure you stick around because we'll be back with a lot more coming up after the break. But first, here's some birthday shout-outs for you this morning.